Hey, everybody, Off the Mic Sports Network here, another edition of Off the Top Rope. So in the midst of all the bullshit that was going on with the Cleveland Cavaliers, for you crossover fans who are, you know, uh, here for sports entertainment, I caught this, announcement from Tony Khan for tomorrow night's AEW Dynamite. Well, a couple of things. What is the obsession with eliminator matches here? What is the obsession with eliminator matches? Like, I don't understand what this even accomplishes. Okay, so first of all, and this has happened just very recently as well. Continental title, there's an eliminator match. Kevin Knight, great that Kevin Knight's getting pushed because, hey, they want to showcase him since, hey, WWE didn't sign him. AEW's given him an opportunity. They're trying to present him like he's a big deal. He's a fun wrestler, but let's be real. Like, doesn't really mean anything. The Continental title doesn't mean anything, but eliminator, really? For a title that doesn't really mean anything? Really? But then this one really pissed me off because for whatever reason, we've got a AEW Women's World Championship Fatal 4-Way Eliminator. They don't even call it a Fatal 4-Way in AEW. They just call it a 4-Way. So get this. You've got Toni Storm in a match with Thunder Rosa, Penelope Ford, and Anna Jay. And I'm assuming what the stipulation is, hey, if one of the other three wins the match, they get an AEW world title match, which very conceivably could happen. And you could see whether it be a Penelope Ford, which I could totally see being the scenario. But also, where's Megan Bayne? Where's Megan Bayne, who literally lost by the skin of her teeth at the last pay-per-view? She's not in this match. So they're running a 4-way eliminator match when they're literally running a match at the next show. They're literally running a champion or a Owen Hart Cup tournament final to determine who's going to face Toni Storm, which they very clearly have been hinting at. We know Toni Storm is not losing the Women's World Championship before All In. And yet you're doing this and you're having Toni Storm compete in random matches every single week on the show. You don't need to consistently do this. Wrestling is not always the solution to get you through stories. And it bothers me that, hey, Thunder Rosa, hey, she's got a history, with Toni Storm. Anna Jay, has won an eliminator. And, Penelope Ford, I don't know what Penelope Ford's doing in this match, but it's just like... And then you see the Continental thing. You're just throwing people in matches just to hey, we need to fill time. It's like you guys have a talented roster is certainly capable of telling stories. Why does there need to be eliminator matches to determine because who's to say that if Toni Storm wins this match, what's the point? She just beat three other women in the division. All of these women feel really insignificant. Thunder Rosa is at the lowest point that she's ever been because she's jobbed out to just about everybody. Penelope Ford is a lackey for Megan Bayne. And Anna Jay, I love her, and she just came back from injury, but what does Anna Jay have to do in this match that, hey, she lost to the last women's world champion. Right? And then Okada, it's like, okay, Okada, we know he's facing Omega at All In at some point. We know that that's going to be the direction. So what does Kevin Knight have to do with that? And this is on top of the weird matchmaking that they had with, throwing, the random trios match that they put together, which is basically the same variation of the same match over the last 3 weeks. It's just this company continues to just be so fucking lazy. And it drives me nuts when I just see these announcements the day before the show acting like you know what the fuck you're doing. It's just, what did we all get pissed off at Vince McMahon? Remember the championship contenders matches, which were some of the stupidest things ever? We know as wrestling fans, if you're in a match with the champion, which by the way is a risky proposition unless you present it well, we know if you're in a non-title match with the champion and you pin them, hell, they literally did this with Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe pinned or submitted Jon Moxley in a trios match to win the trios titles, and he's got a world championship match. Why do you need to have a match to then make another match? It just feels lazy. It feels convoluted. And especially doing a 4-way where basically now you're opening the possibility of hey, they could not even pin Toni Storm and then get a world championship match, because then what's the point there? We know Toni Storm is still going to be the champion, whether she faces Jamie Hayter or whether she faces Mercedes Moné. I think it's going to be Mercedes Moné, but I'm bound to be surprised. They've created some unpredictability there. But again, guys, this is just, if you like this, God bless you. But it's like I said, it's some of the most indie-rific and just, just plain simplistic booking strategies that I've ever seen in all of wrestling. It's like there's no originality to it. There's just, insert person X, insert person Y, insert person Z into this match, and let's do this. That's literally like, it's almost like Tony Khan for that women's match got a simulator and basically was like, okay, we're gonna do 4-way match, and let's do insert this women's wrestler X, Y, and Z. Okay, and they landed on these three, who all have really no stake. Why are they even in the match with the world champion? You guys tell me. And maybe I'm critical, but there's a reason why WWE stopped doing this, because it's a stupid idea. Also, Vince McMahon's not there anymore. So I don't know what you want from me anymore. Maybe I'm finding ways to be mad, but it's just like this is the type of stuff that frustrates me, because what you can do is try to tell stories and try to get your top angles over and, invest in those. Because you've already made it abundantly clear that Toni Storm is not losing the women's championship. So why even present the possibility that and put her in a match that means absolutely nothing? Like, what are we doing? Come on. All right. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.